All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Tree House Brewing Company, and they're headquartered in Charlottetown, Massachusetts, and this is their Emperor Julius. So they're calling this one a double IPA that comes in at 8.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 1 month old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Steven, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer haul video I did that contains all the goodies that Steven hooked me up with, and he hooked me up with a bunch of Tree House. This is one of them, and it's Emperor Julius. We're going to do a little bit of story time real quick here on the back. It says, Emperor Julius stands tall alongside Very HHHazyyy at the very top of the Tree House family tree. We don't take brewing a beer like this lightly. It has to make sense, and the flavors have to be soft, rounded, elegant, and easy to drink all the way through the glass. To that end, we consider Emperor Julius to be a triumph. Now, they talk about tasting notes. We won't mention those or anything. I won't even look at them, really. But yeah, so Emperor Julius. I've reviewed quite a few different Juliuses at this point, and this stands at the top, top of the family tree. If I had nails, I'd be able to easily open this, but I do not. So anyway, let's pour it into the hashtag proper glassware, see what we got going on here. Okay, a little bit of an aggressive pour. I want to generate a decent head, so there we go. I really like the label. I love the Tree House label, or the logo in general. I just love the Catholic. I love their artwork. So that has a really dark, so some of the beers that I've had recently, a little bit darker. This has like a, this honestly looks, if you looked at this, you would say it's oxidized. That's what I would say. But I think Juice Machine looked like this. Totally wasn't. Has just over a finger of a off-white, really creamy looking head, very murky and turbid. Yeah, plays the role. Let's get a nose. Hopefully it isn't oxidized. I did smell it. It didn't smell oxidized. No, not at all. Oh. Holy shit. So I'm not getting a lot here. This isn't overly complex, but there is a huge, juicy, candied orange and peach. I'm getting like your favorite orange candy, let's say Skittles or Starburst or Jolly Rancher or Lifesavers. I don't know, just whatever. It's just a huge candied orange. It's like those candied, I was gonna say peach gummy rings too, but it's kind of like those candied citrus slices you get, that look like the slice of like a fruit. It's like the orange one with like the crystallized sugar on it. That's what I'm smelling. That and basically peach gummy rings. It's like huge, juicy, candied fruit. A little bit of like an earthiness, an underlying bready, slightly doughy, and I keep on saying bready and doughy, but with Tree House, I get like a bready doughy. There's a touch of like a bubblegum here too from their yeast. And because of that like candied kind of aspect, maybe, and it's funny because Hop Butchers mentioned this in quite a few of their tasting notes on some of the beers I've been drinking recently, and they say cotton candy. I'm getting a little bit of cotton candy, like bubblegum cotton candy thing. Oh, as it opens up, it's a spectacular nose. Yeah, so a lot of orange, tangerine, again, candied, juicy. Then there's peach gummy rings, candied and juicy. And then there's a little bit of like a cotton candy bubblegum thing going on, slightly doughy, bready, kind of malt base, a little bit of an earthiness. It smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Steven. Damn it, the nose is better than the taste again. I don't know what the fuck's going on with these Tree House beers. This is like the third time this has happened. I'm trying to think of how many I reviewed so far from Steven. I think I did the Julius. I don't care. I don't know what order I'm posting. Probably be in the order in which I reviewed Julius and then Juice Machine and this. And it's like they were all, the noses were better. Okay, so starting to open up on the palate a little bit more. First off, I shouldn't even say anything about the body mouthfeel from Tree House anymore, just because they're always, I mean, like 95% of the time, they're spectacular. They're fucking phenomenal. And this is another beer in which that is the case. It's higher side of medium, lower side of full body, and the mouthfeel is cloud-esque. I want to drink it. I also want to put my head on it. I also want to float on it. I just want to be, the mouthfeel is fucking divine. It's Tree House to a T. The flavors, those candied fruits kind of carried over, but they're more juicy and like real on the taste, which I think is welcomed. Did I want to sit here and drink, you know, orange, say Skittle or Starburst, or you know, a peach gummy ring? No, I mean, I'd rather have like the real fruit characters on the taste, and I think that's what I'm getting. So there's an underlying dough-esque kind of component to the malt, omnipresent, but never steps in the way. Over top of that, waves of juicy, realistic orange, tangerine, peach. Right, that's the first half palate. All of those fruits, and they're fresh. It's like freshly squeezed orange juice in conjunction with a overripened peach. Really nice. Midway through the palate, I get a touch of this bubblegum character. It's not cotton candy. It was more cotton candy in the nose. In the taste, it's more bubblegum. And then it finishes, this is almost full-on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. And there's this earthy, grassy, or almost like soil-esque type of character on the back of the palate. Yeah, there's a quality on the back of the palate that it's more, we'll just say generic, we'll say earthiness. Really nice though. It is sweet up front, but man, does it dry out substantially. Like I said, almost full-on dry finish. And it's more mild than moderately bitter, but I think the dryness works better than if there was like a moderate bitterness for my palate personally. And I'm not a huge fan of dry beer, so that says a lot. 8.8%. You can see I'm tearing this up. A little bit of warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. This, my friends, is really tasty. To be honest with you, I think the flavors kind of land for me around like a 4.2, 4.25. But like I've done recently in a lot of reviews, the body and mouthfeel of these beers are so substantially fantastic. Ooh, pouring in the rest. Wow. I did this recently, like a couple weeks ago on a Hop Butcher beer, and I was so surprised. It has just amplified that citrus character. Lot of citrus now, like a ton. Like the orange is screaming, and it kind of dominates the palate in a good way. So when I first tasted this, I had a rating in my mind, and that rating has changed 2 different times since I kind of had that in my mind. The original rating I had in my mind was like a low 4.2. It's like 4.2 out of 5. Then the mouthfeel, and it opened up, and I'm like, okay, now we're in like the low 4.5. Now for Emperor Julius rating, I'm at a straight 4.5 out of 5. This has changed since I poured it, whatever, 5-6 minutes ago, to something where I first sniffed it. I was like, yeah, this is great. Then I taste it, I'm like, not as great. Then it opens up, fantastic. Pour the rest in, even better. So this changed substantially, and yeah, for the better too. Now I'm getting more bubblegum too from their yeast. Yeah, this is really good. 4.5 out of 5. Not going to change the score. That's where I'm going to lock it in. Emperor Julius is a fantastic take on Julius. I really like it. I don't think it's as good as King Julius, maybe in that realm. King Creamsicle was my favorite of any of the Juliuses, but whatever. Price availability, I don't know. Steven had some extras. I paid him $5 a can just because whatever. He's hooked me up with so many beers, and he was nice enough to bring some extras. So I was just like, I'm going to throw you $5 a can. I don't care what they cost. But I think something like this would probably be like $20 to $22 a 4-pack at Tree House, which is fine. For something like this, yeah, all day, every day. Availability, Tree House. One of their 4 or 5 locations. If you're in the north, if you're in the New England area, and more specifically Massachusetts, you can get your hands on them. If not, you need to know nice people like Steven or trade for them. But yeah, this is really good. Again, not my favorite Julius, but it's up there as a fucking fantastic beer. And again, when I first tasted it, you saw maybe a little bit disappointed. I'm like, damn it, the nose is better than the aroma. I talked about how Julie-ish and Juice Machine was kind of a letdown from the nose to the aroma, or from the aroma to the taste. And I thought that was going to happen here, and guess what? To my surprise, totally didn't. I think it actually lived up to the nose, just in a completely different way. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what's your favorite of all the Juliuses that they've released. Like I said, King Creamsicle, I won't count that just because it does have an addition of vanilla bean. Probably King Julius or King Julius, with 7, it's actually 3 J's and 3 S's. There's so many different variations of Julius. I still think either King Julius or the variation of King Julius is probably one of my favorite. This is up there though, really good. So thanks again to Steven. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.